Welcome to the Threshold, the place of the intuitive, the mystic, the contemplative, a place to strengthen the connection to your core through mindfulness and inner wisdom. How do we navigate this increasingly chaotic world? With our spidey sense, of course. Let's talk. A friend of mine reminded me earlier today that nothing is permanent. Fortunately or unfortunately, that is true. Because, hey, we all want to hold on to the good stuff and rejoice when the unevenness leaves our life. It fades away. Impermanence, we have this tug-pull relationship with it. And I'm going to say we are in such a time of upheaval. I keep waiting for it to smooth out or to reach a plateau, and it doesn't feel like it's done that yet. I know that the roller coaster of change is bringing about a new way, but honestly, I'm not sure that I'm liking where we are. But when I'm non-judgmental, I can taste my concern, listen to my angst, and see the shimmer of fear that resonates inside of me. I would really recommend that you pay attention to how you're feeling, to discover why you're feeling how you are. We live in a world that kind of reminds me of how I was raised. Decisions are being made, and if we question them, it's because I told you so. I know what's best. I heard that over and over and over again when I was growing up. And I want to say now, but really, I'm an adult. I think that I know what's best for me. I also know the boundaries of what I'm going to refer to as none of my business. And as I look into the world, it seems like there are a lot of people out there that have not learned that lesson. And let me be clear, sometimes I have to remind myself that it's none of my business. The world has gone crazy. Boundaries are being bulldozed. The government is up in people's business where they shouldn't be. And not in people's business where they should be. The travesty is not over yet. In fact, my spidey sense is tingling in ways that have me on red alert to mix my metaphors. I'm thinking about Danger, Will Robinson. Woo! But a Thomas Merton quote comes to me. To live prophetically, you've got to be questioning and looking at the factors behind the facts. You've got to be aware that there are contradictions. And when I look at the world today, all I see is contradictions. And what I really think that Thomas Merton is saying is he's calling us to question, to discover, to investigate, to seek, and to reflect. Those are all parts of the discerning process to discover why we believe what we believe and if that is really authentic or true to who we are at our core. We've got to know that sometimes contradictions are the convoluted paths that lead us to understanding, that really lead us to change. So I get it intellectually. But my heart is a whole different story. You may think that one or more of the decisions of the Supreme Court were a good thing. They fit within the way that you see the world and how it should be. Or, like me, you may see the unevenness of those decisions because they're totally not in my worldview of how the government from the people and for the people should be acting. And then I reflect upon the issue that life is impermanent. Nothing stays the same. So with that, I have a question for you. Even if you believe that any of these decisions are right ones, what happens when a freedom of yours is violated? Think it can't happen? If the Supreme Court asks you to hold its beer, do not do it. Because if rights violation can happen to the vast majority, it can happen in your small slice of the world. Now, this wild, wonderful life has become so narrow. Too many crossovers into the land of not my business. But this narrowness is not permanent. Permanent is a subjective thing. It can be as long as our inhale, or it can be one of the inhales of the sacred. Personally, I hope it's a human inhale this time. But I have to say, for change to happen, we've got a lot of work to do. So what do? We hold firm to what we believe. We look at those factors behind the facts. We stop responding. We stop reacting. And we respond with wisdom. We call people out with compassion. And in doing so, we become the change where all rights are protected. So I have to say again, my spidey sense is really tingling. Something is very, very wrong. And this time, instead of ignoring it, I'm paying attention. I'm going to sidestep the gaslighting of the vocal minority, identify my biases, listen to what is happening, ask what I can do, hold myself and others accountable. And in that way, I'm going to be compassion in the truest sense. But most importantly, I'm going to act like my life and yours depends upon my listening to that spidey sense, because you know what? It does. If you've made it to the end of this difficult conversation, I want to thank you for holding it. If you're not sure how to move forward in this time, want to really begin to listen to your spidey sense, as a contemplative coach, I'd love to work with you to fine-tune your listening skills and then to help you create strategies, goals to move forward. Additional resources are available at vanessafhurst.com. But no matter what you do today, I want you to listen in whatever way your spidey sense speaks to you, and then respond from the core of your being. Thank you and namaste.